the point is that the students wrote this and they performed it. And we have a variety of programming at WCTV where students can write, perform, and produce their own programming by taking the courses. How much money did you have to pay for the course? Somebody called about funding. Do you remember how much you paid to take the course?
I've been with the FBI for 15 years, and as I said, I can tell when a person is trying to keep information secret.
Okay, it was $10 for the 3 days, and actually, when you completed the course, you received a membership for the $10, so you didn't have to pay for membership. So that $10 paid for your course and for your membership. What I'd like to ask is, do any of you have any ideas for some programming for kids for this year? I know Chris is going to continue with Sports Roundup, and maybe I could actually switch Chris with Amanda now, and Chris could go and do some directing. And Dave, if you'd like to come over, you're going to stay behind the camera? Okay. Don't forget to call us here. We're eager for your calls. Jennifer Kilburn's putting up your numbers, number 658-7826. This is a good time to ask kids what they do with their spare time. And it's really nice to see that this is a really productive, I guess that's kind of a double meaning, isn't it? This is a really productive way of using their time.
Okay. No calls.
Okay. Guys, do you, or the girls, do you have any ideas for any other programming that you might be interested in doing this year from school or on your own? Are you boys going to continue with Sports Roundup?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens? You're all trained. What happens when you go to the high school now? What will you do at the high school? Will you get involved with the video classes over there? I don't know if you know that there are video classes at the high school. One of the teachers over there, Suzette Hall, has video classes, and the classes actually come over here for their classes. And anyone at the high school is welcome to sign up for the courses over there, and you learn the same thing that you would normally learn. Amanda's back now. Amanda, you're the youngest person here today. And you were just directing the whole show. Now, I'm really impressed with that. I hear we have a phone call. We'll get back to Amanda in a minute. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Hello?
Hi, I have a question for Jennifer Johnson. What do you do in your spare time?
Mike.
Well, actually, Jennifer was one of our more creative writers at the North Intermediate and did a wonderful job thinking up dialogue and thinking up costuming, etc. Do you have sports hobbies or anything that you do, Jennifer?
Yeah, I play basketball and I play softball. I think that's it for sports that I play. I swim a lot. I like to swim.
Okay.
And I just like to sort of do things with my friends.
Okay, and I think that's pretty common of a lot of kids in Wilmington. They're involved in a lot of sports, and they're involved with their friends. And this is an additional way. Suzanne, did you meet people that you didn't know in the course when you came?
Yeah. I knew a couple of them, but not all of them.
Okay, so it's another way to meet some other kids and maybe get together to do a production further on down the line.
Yeah.
You might notice that Suzanne is here with her cast and all. She just recently broke an ankle doing, walking along.
Yeah, I was walking a dog.
Okay.
I was walking a dog.
We're still waiting for some more phone calls, and we're going to swap our cameraman again because John O'Neill has been behind the camera the whole time.
And he wants to come on.
And we'd like to have him come on over. So Mark DiGiovanni's going to swap. Okay. And I want to get back to Amanda because directing is probably one of the harder things to do. It's kind of like walking, humming a tune, chewing gum, and reciting the Declaration of Independence all at the same time. There's an awful lot to hear in your headsets, and there's an awful lot to do with the control board. How did you manage it all, Amanda?
Well,
Want to put the mic right up near your mouth, honey?
for one thing, there was a person along who suggested some of the scenes, and I looked at them, and if I saw two of the same picture, then I would ask the person to change it.
Okay, all right. Leave the mic right up near your mouth now. And how old are you, Amanda?
I'm 10.
You're 10 years old. Have you ever taken a camera out? Have you signed a camera out? Or
No,
have you
but-
done all your work in the studio?
I've never taken a camera out. I've done most of my work in the studio, but I use my family's camera, and I like to play with it at home.
Oh, excellent, very good. So you film different family things that are going on? Okay. Do you have any, not to put you on the spot, but do you have any idea for programming that you'd like to do this year or another year at the studio? Do you have any, like, I really want to do a program about?
Not really.
Not really? John, we don't want to exclude you. Come on down here. You've been behind the camera the whole time, and we don't want to miss out on you. Remember, our telephone number is 658-7826. We're waiting for calls. Here's John O'Neill. We're giving John a hand for arriving here. He's worked very hard on the camera most of the time. John, did you remember everything that was taught to you in the course, or did you have to, like, practice it by doing it?
Well, I remembered most of it, yeah. Like, after I got finished with the course, like, I didn't really do anything, so I used my family's camera. It's like cookouts and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess that's it, that if you have a camera at home, you do some work as well. Any ideas for programming for this year that you might come and do?
Not really.
Not
no.
really. Okay. You know, sometimes it takes a production at school. A lot of the schools now, a lot of the teachers are quite capable of using our equipment and are what we call equipment members here. But they will ask for, Eric can walk right on.
Come on, Eric.
Okay, oh, we have a phone.
We have phone calls.
Hello?
It's a truck.
I'm sorry, would you, oh, hit that flashing light.
I'm really sorry.
Hello?
Hi, I'm going to be going to the North next year, and I was wondering if you'll be filming any special programs there next year.
Could you repeat your question just a little louder? Oh, she's going into the north?
To the North next year, and I was wondering if you'll be filming any special programs next year there.
Okay. At the North Intermediate, what were some of the special programs? One of them was the Veterans Day program, which was a wonderful program. Did you film that, Mike?
No, I wasn't part of that one.
Oh,
I
okay.
think Chris did.
Chris Cassidy filmed the Veterans Day program. That was an excellent program there. I think, I just wanted to be a little bit clearer. Sometimes it takes the teacher's initiative to have a program. Like I had Project Enterprise classes, so that's what we did was write the program, film it, etc. Mrs. Soderquist is over at the West Intermediate, and and she's an aide in one of the classes, and she took it upon herself to have a play performed by her students last year. Mrs. Phillips over at the West, that Trial of Patty Bergen was also her program. So sometimes it's the teacher's initiative, and also if the teacher knows that you can run a camera and that you can get a camera. Like John, if John's in a class next year, he can say to his teacher, I'm able to run a camera and I'm able to get all the equipment from WCTV, and I could do some filming for you. Then WCTV would show any of the programs that John or any of these kids and their teachers have produced. To answer you specifically, do we have anything specific we could tell her? No. I'm sorry, we couldn't tell her like a specific program that we know is going to be on next year. Mostly like the teacher's initiative, I think, or what's going on at the school. But the more kids that are able to use the cameras, etc., then the more programs that could be. Did you want to say something, Suzanne? Oh, okay. Do we have another call? Okay. We did show the Patty Bergen, the trial of Patty Bergen, and I wanted to just show a little bit of a program that Cheryl and I did on the Wildwood Extended Day program. If somebody would run that little snippet of the program. And in this, we actually went over and did the filming, but we asked some of the kids to do a little bit of performing and introduce one another. And this would be the Wilmington Extended Day program at the Wildwood School. Okay, I think they're looking for that. So here we are.
This is Deborah. This is Deborah. This is Heather. This is Megan. This is my big sister Colleen. She's in the 5th grade. This is Alice. This is Heather. She's in the 5th grade. And this. That's Judy. And Julie. And thank you for letting me be at the after school program, Mom and Dad. I enjoy it very much.
We have a couple of girls who come to us who
As
were
you can see in this
prior to
program,
coming
it's
to
a
us
nice,
in a private home.
example of kids given the camera, given the microphone, and given a little guidance, will perform, and there's an awful lot of energy and enthusiasm behind that. Don't forget to call at 658-7826. How are we doing on time? Could someone tell me that? Okay. Eric, you haven't had a chance to say too much. You've been working behind the camera the whole time. And maybe you could give a wave. So, you're kind of behind people. Could you move over so we can see you on camera there? There you go. Okay. And Eric, did you take the course? Did you take it with Bob?
Yeah, I did.
You did? And I asked John this question, and Suzanne, do you have any idea for programming that you'd like to do?
No, not really.
Not really. But what if a teacher said, would you have the initiative to say to your teacher next year, I am trained to work at WCTV and I can use all the equipment there, and if there's anything I can help you with or any projects you'd like to do, would you actually go up and say that to a teacher?
Maybe if there was like a special program that they were doing.
Okay. And maybe if you told them ahead of time, if you told them that you had that skill ahead of time, maybe they would plan around your skill and around your ability to work with the cameras and with the editing. Suzanne has edited. Mike, have you done any editing? Let's give him a microphone.
Here you go.
Thank you, Joe.
Well, I haven't done
Right up
much
your neck.
editing because I just took the course and I just learned how to edit. So I haven't done that much, but I think I will start to do a lot of editing for Sports Roundup. I'll probably help Chris a lot.
Oh, excellent. Suzanne, we have another phone call.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
This is for David Joquin. I was wondering if the programs that are being shot have to be shot in Wilmington.
Okay. Sean, can we get a shot of Dave? So Dave will have to give us an answer. Dave is over here. Dave, did you hear the question? Do you have to shoot your programs? Do your programs have to be shot in Wilmington? I'll share my microphone with you.
No, they don't have to be shot in Wilmington, but they have to be showed on the air in Wilmington on the public access channels.
Okay.
And the channels are?
30, 52, and 56.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Bye.
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 You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, good. We're getting some phone calls coming in now. Don't forget that 658-7826. Channel 30 is Wilmington WCTV has the PEG system, like the name PEG, P-E-G, and channel 30 is public access. Channel 52, which we're on today, is educational. That's the E of PEG. and channel 56 is the governmental. So that you usually see school committee meetings on channel 52, because that's the educational channel. You usually see selectmen's meetings, which one is running right now, on channel 56, because that's the governmental meeting. And you usually see kind of public interest programs on channel 30, because that's the public access. Is there anything else that you would like to add to this? I would like to have Chris come back in and kind of finish up. Chris Cassidy's the one that helped me organize the program. So if Amanda, could we have you go back in and direct the end?
Hi.
Bye, Amanda.
Okay. And if we could have Chris Cassidy come back in.
You're next to me.
Come on down.
Is Adam doing the audio? Adam, why don't you come back in, give Jeff the audio, and you can come back in.
Here, have a hand.
Okay, and guys, if you could go up
Do
the
you need a
back there, I
hand?
don't think there's too much
Need a
room
hand?
here. Okay, Adam.
Here, have a hand.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to kids out there about taking the courses, about getting involved here? Are people really, I think one thing that's nice about WCTV here is that kids are not treated like kids. They are treated like, well, Chris, maybe you could tell us, how are kids treated around here?
They just treat you like everyone else. No one really treats you like you're a kid. You know, they treat you like you're like everyone else does. Everyone gets treated the same way, pretty much.
Because everybody really is sharing
I mean,
the skill.
as long as everyone has, has the same ability, everyone can direct, or it doesn't really matter how old you are or how young you are. You can just, as long as you can do the job.
Okay, yeah. Adam, do you have anything you'd like to say to kids about coming down to the studio? I don't want to just put Adam on the spot. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say about coming down to the studio, or even getting involved in the level where Jennifer and Joe did of helping to create a program? Anybody want to say anything? Give you all a chance. Dave, Sean, Mark, anything you'd like to add before we conclude today's program? Adam, nothing? Okay, everybody's being very shy. I think I'm going to finish the program then with a thank you to all these kids for coming down tonight. Some of them came in kind of a last-minute request, and just as I said earlier, they have the skill, they like to use the skill, and for any of the teachers that are listening who teach in Wilmington or even in other towns, look to the public access studio for kids to help you out in your classroom, to show off the wonderful projects that you have, or even to create projects for your students to show on the air. As I believe the last caller asked, our Wilmington programs, is it just for Wilmington? The answer is yes. We want to show as much of what goes on with kids, as much of what kids are thinking, and as much of children's abilities. We'd like to show it and showcase it on WCTV. This has been kids behind the camera. Literally, they have been there behind the camera. I want to thank everybody and say that this is the first night of WCTV week. Tomorrow night there will be safety programming going on, and there'll be programming all week. And following this program, you'll see a promo for WCTV Festival on the Common this Saturday, and you're all invited to come down between 12 and 9 to participate. You'll also have a chance to be behind the camera during the festival. We're going to have some cameras out there. And one of the things we're going to tape is we're going to tape everybody coming down to the Salvation Army truck to donate non-perishables for the Midwest flood victims. Some of our proceeds from some of the food concessions will go to the Wilmington Food Commissary, and we have antique cars there. We have some entertainment coming. We have some programming from Winchester Hospital coming, and some video programs later on in the evening. You're welcome to come down. I'd like to thank all the kids, and maybe we could actually give one another a hand for doing such a good job, and thank you very much.
Hi, I'm JT Turner. You know, there are a lot of talks these days about conserving our resources, conserving our air, conserving our water, conserving our land. But there's a natural resource right here in Wilmington that we prefer not to conserve, and that's WCTV. We'd rather give it away, if you will, because we'd like you to be a member. Towards that end, we're having a very special week of programming. It's called WCTV Week. And different days have different themes. On Monday, we're going to have quite a bit of educational programming, including a live call-in show. On Tuesday, we're going to be taking a look at health and public safety with members of the police and fire department here in our studio. Wednesday will be governmental programming, where we'll be chatting with several local town officials and politicians. On Thursday, Wilmington's fraternal organizations will be featured. And on Saturday, from noon until 9 p.m., we're having a festival on the Common. That festival is going to include live music, tours of WCTV, medical screenings done by Winchester Hospital, an antique car show, emergency equipment, and an opportunity for you to come down and try out WCTV equipment. So if you've ever desired to be a camera person, this will be your opportunity. It's from noon to 9 on the Common, and we're also going to be accepting donations for victims of the Midwest flood. If you'd like more information about WCTV, and particularly about membership, please give us a call. Our number is 657-4066. I'm JT Turner. Hope to see you on the Common.